Do you have any fan there? No fan. Fan. Do you have no? You do not have any small fan there? No. It's all right. Eat.
One thing, Nick, open the microphone.
Oh, I see. That will make noise.
Let's see, you need to have quiet one.
That's great. I hope it will not bring any sound in the. It will fine.
There. No sound. Is it reaching you?
Great.
Yeah?
No sound. Great.
No sound.
तब कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये बुरिदा जनाः. The nectar of the words are the life for those who are scourged by the world. The words which have been uttered by the knowers of truth, which wipe out sins, the very hearing of which is beneficial, which are beautiful, pleasing to the ears and pleasing to the hearts, which are inexhaustible. Those who recount them on the earth are the givers of plenty. Om Shanti, 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 peace, 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 control. We are going to have our satsang, stories of the Vedanta monks. Swami Saradeshananda, a disciple of Holy Mother, I met him twice in India in 1977 and 1986. He passed away in 1988. He was a great monk. His life was his message. He demonstrated an ideal monk of the Ramakrishna order. Flawless. His life and character. And he was an attendant of Holy Mother for 5-6 years. He fed Holy Mother. He nursed Holy Mother. And Mother was very fond of him. We gave our first talk last Saturday. Let us start. He was talking about how to create a spiritual atmosphere. Holy company, studying the scriptures. He was in Vrindavan and he used to read Bhagavatam every day. He said if one reads Bhagavatam, he will get devotion. So Swami Shuklatmananda writes, we read to him the 10th book of the Bhagavatam every day. And he wanted to listen that there are 12 books, 12 skandhas of the Bhagavatam. 10th skandha is only connected with Krishna. From his life, the whole life has been recorded there. 10th book of the Bhagavatam. And 11th book is the message to Uddhava Gita. He said that in this 10th book of the Bhagavatam, Parabhakti has been mentioned, supreme devotion. But when we used to read to him the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna or Sri Ram Holy Mother's conversation or any monastic disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, he used to listen. But when we watched them, as if he was visualizing, seeing those things. Sometimes you read, but you do not visualize. As if he was there. When you are reading about Ramakrishna, he is seeing Ramakrishna on his cot and talking. He used to listen very attentively. Sometimes he used to say, Maharaj, are you sleeping? Continue your reading. His Reminiscences was lost. He wrote his whole Reminiscences and went for tapasya in the Himalayas, leaving that book to a friend. When he came back, he said the book is lost. He was broken-hearted. But again, based on his memory, after many years, he started to record again. That thing has come in that book, Sri Sri Mayur Sriti Gotha. It has been translated into English. Towards the end of his life, he used to say, when he used to listen his own writing, he used to breathe, as if he could not hold his emotion. The same thing we noticed when we used to read Chaitanya's life, which he wrote during the Dol Purnima. He used to feel the same kind of, he would get that kind of experience. We read only 2 chapters to him, Abhirbhav, Chaitanya's Abhirbhav, and his Sannyas. These 2 chapters we only read to him. When we read the Sannyas, at that time he burst into crying. But we had to stop it because he could not handle it. He was very reticent to speak about his personal life. if we asked something about his family or personal life, he used to make some fun and he would avoid to talk about it. Sometimes he used to scold us. You are stupid fellows. I have nearly 100 years of life. If I tell you my old stories, it will be a Mahabharata. And what will you gain from it? But sometimes we learned a little bit in between his conversation. Then this recorder says that when my handwriting was very bad, the brahmachari says, Anup. And I want to join this monastery, so I had to write an application to the head center. By seeing my handwriting, Swami said, he scolded him, your handwriting is so bad. Then he was very ashamed. Later on, he started to improve his handwriting. I saw his handwriting, like printing, so beautiful. So Swami Saradeshananda used to dictate letters to the devotees, and he was the writer of the letters. And one day he was showing, Maharaj, I wrote this letter, could you sign it? He signed it. Did you see the letter? Then he understood that he is proud of his handwriting improved. Oh, he wants a little praise. But I am responsible to improve your handwriting through scolding. But he was not a negative person, very positive, always trying to improve. He did not like foppishness, for his fancy furniture and decoration, this, that in his room. No. Then he said, you people put things here and there, it is not right. Sri Ramakrishna said, you must put the things to its proper place, so that I not have to search here and there where my things are. My torch, my candle, my matchstick, all should be in its proper place. One day he saw that I am folding my cloth very nicely. Then Swami said, are you going to your father-in-law's house? তুমি শ্বশুর বাড়ি যাবে? A monk with nice clothing. Are you going to your father-in-law's house? I also returned his comment. Then Maharaj a little laugh and then said, I tried to poke you, But sometimes he says something I forgot. Then Maharaj said, I knew that you will not be able to do it. It is my mistake. It is my mistake that I asked you to do it. It is useless to tell you anything. It is not your job. Then I become excited. I try to finish the job very quickly. Then he said, look, I won. You will have to give me credit. My scolding worked. But it happened many times. But you know how he mixed with us. He was in his late 80s and I am 20 years old. 60 years age difference. But he was just like a loving friend, father, mother. But no difference of ages. On Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother and Sri Ramakrishna Jari disciples' birthdays, he used to ask, buy some sweets and fruits and offer to the Master. Sometimes some devotees would send money to him. I sent it, I think once or twice I sent some money. But his order, there should not be any money in my room. No money in my room. So he immediately sent to the office. So he was curious to thinking, perhaps it goes in his name. Then some people, pranami and some gifts, Then I inquired, Maharaj, this money will go to your account. Why are you so curious to know about it? Maharaj, I promise that I have no desire to have to on your money. Then he said, all my expenses comes from Sadhu Seva Fund, monks fund. Whatever comes, it goes to that fund, because from that fund they spend money for my food, my clothing, for everything that fund pays. But he was very, very strict about money. You will not touch money. Give to the office. Well, once Swami Chetananandaji, who was the founder of the Cultural Institute, Golpar, he was also Mother's disciple. So he wrote a letter that, does the Swami need anything? I am coming to Vrindavan so that I can buy something for him. Then he asked Swami Nitya Swarupananda has a little money, but he should always remember that money does not belong to him. It is the devotee's money. They give to the monks for his use. He should not waste money buying things which I do not want. Then Nitya Swarupananda came to Vrindavan and requested, Maharaj, I'd like to buy something. So all right, buy. So Vrindavan is very extreme climate, hot in summer, cold in winter. So he bought a shawl for him that he used till the end. And both are Mother's disciples. Nitya Swarupananda maybe 7 years younger, 7-8 years younger. But he would kneel down in front of the Swami. Swami is on the bed, lying down on the floor, kneel down and humbly talk to him. And sometimes he used to take Swami Saradeshananda's hand and put on his head, please bless me. Then one day, this brahmachari says, I was curious and asked Maharaj, you are a disciple of Mother and he is also a disciple of my Mother. Then he told me, I have seen many monks in my life, but he is rare. If you can find any monk like him, I shall think that you are not a knowledgeable person. I have never seen such monk in my whole life. Then brahmachari says, one day I was serving the Swami. He was very lean and thin. Then Swami says, hey, eat some more. If you are not strong and healthy, you cannot serve the Swami. But you will be weak. Swamiji says, nerves of iron, muscles of iron, and nerves of steel. Swamiji's words. Muscles of iron, nerves of steel. That a young man should be. So I was a little hurt. I go, Maharaj, and Swami Nitya Swarupananda was a little bulky, big bulging stomach. But Swami, do you think that I should be fat like you? You get out from my room. Swami scolded him. Then I was ashamed. He is a mother's disciple, such a senior monk, and whereas, look, I am a brahmachari of the other day and I talked to him like this, which is very improper. I was very ashamed. Then I went to his room and apologized. Then Swami said, "Do you see the cows? They are roaming around, grazing, but they are cows. They cannot think. They cannot talk. But we human beings, we think, we talk. You told me what is in your mind, and I told you what is in my mind. But that's over. I didn't mind anything. Everybody must have his free thoughts, you know. You have freedom of thinking, freedom of speech. So hearing you, I understood what is in your mind, and you understood what is in my mind. So that's it. So we have no other problem. But the Sri Ramakrishna says the anger of a monk is just like mark on the water. Shoter rag, joler dag. That Thakur said. Then he mentioned about Swami Adi Sarananda, came to India in 1985 and met Gopesh Maharaj in Vrindavan, Swami Saradeshananda. Returning to New York, he wrote to me, "We heard about mother's love in the books, but today I really experienced what love is after meeting Maharaj. It is inadequate to express, to evaluate his spiritual advancement for me. His unselfish love, his affection, and his feeling for others. Feeling for others, that is a very important thing in spiritual life. Do you feel? You know, Swamiji gave one lecture in Madras. But you people want to be a social reformer. If you want to be a great leader, you need three things. First, do you feel? Second, if you do, did you find out the way to help people? And if you do find the way, do you have the patience and perseverance and tenacity to hold that thing till death? If you have these three, then only you can be a leader." I shall tell you a couple of examples, incidents from his life about his love and affection. To rectify my habit and character, sometimes he used very harsh language and scolding also. One day I was very much piqued. I finished my duty and then I went to my next room and just started to repeat mantra there. Then while repeating mantra, I burst into tears. I cried. Then I went to the bathroom, washed my hands and face. Then again I went to Swami's room. I saw he was lying down. I also used to see. He used to put his two hands on his chest. That is the way he used to lie down. But his body was covered with a chadar. I was doing my other works in his room near the table. Maharaj saw me and called me a couple of times. Then standing away, I asked, please tell me, Maharaj, what do you want? He signaled, please come near to me. But I can hear, you tell me what you want. আপনি বলুন। He again raised his hand and he was calling, come near to me. So I was bound to go near him. Then lying down, he put his two hands and was caressing my head. Then that is the way Holy Mother used to show his affection. With 3 fingers he used to put in the chin. And then that is the way Holy Mother used to show her affection. With these 3 fingers he used to put on his chin. That is the way Mother used to show her affection. But that he did to me. And then all my pique and anger and this will melt away. From the office, some magazines and books would come. First they used to send to Swami's room. Sometimes in the afternoon he used to see what is going on in Ramakrishna Math mission and the magazines. He used to read some articles. Sometimes he used to ask his attendants to read to him. But I was reading this magazine. That Swami says, it is evening, sit down for your japam. But he saw that I am not moving, so again he scolded me. One day, he used to sleep next to, in the same room, another bed, because he was incapable later on to move. Because if he wants to go to the bathroom, he has to take him to the bathroom. One day I had terrible headache. I lay down on my bed. It was evening. It was the time for japam and meditation. Maharaj was telling, it is evening, get up, sit down. Maharaj, I have headache, I cannot sit down today. But he repeated, as if it is his responsibility. At least you sit a while and then again lie down. Don't give up your routine, promise. You see, it is extremely important. This is called Kshanarahasya. I sometimes ask the devotees, you condition your stomach that I shall give breakfast at 7 o'clock, lunch at 1 o'clock, dinner at 7 o'clock. Your stomach will demand food on those times. I am hungry, give me food. Same thing Swami said, in spiritual life, if you make a routine, that morning this time I shall sit for meditation, not exact time, then you will form your character and integrity and truthfulness. I sit at the right time. That he was talking about. Then I teased him. Oh, when you are knee pain, so many people come and give massage. But who will give me, who will press my head? Maharaj said, come near to me. So I went near him. Slowly he pressed his attendant's forehead 2-3 times. Your headache will go away. You go. Sit for meditation again. I did. My headache disappeared. Another evening, sitting near Swami's bed, I was repeating mantra. Then he said, I have excruciating pain in my knee. Please press it, give a little massage. But you told me that in the evening you are supposed to repeat mantra, and now you are asking me to give massage. But I am asking you to give the massage, but I did not ask you not to repeat the mantra. One can give the massage and continue the mantra also. Then he says, Maharaj says, Sadhur Jivani Prachar. Your life is your message. Meaning your life will spread the message of God. Follow Sri Ramakrishna's teachings. Lead a good, holy life. These are the four vital things of an ideal monk's life in the Ramakrishna order, he was telling. First, Satcharitra, good character. And physically, mentally, verbally, everything must be good, spiritual, holy. Indriyo moner sanjam, control of the senses and the mind. You must have control over the 6 enemies: lust, anger, greed, delusion, ego, jealousy. All the senses becomes under control if you have control of the tongue. So he quoted from the Bhagavatam, Jitam sarvam jite rashe. That person has conquered the senses who has conquered the tongue. %90 of our suffering, misery, disease, all kinds of problems, it is due to lack of control of the senses. Some people get suffering unknowingly. For example, all of a sudden you are eating too much sweets, many spicy, rich food, very good for your stomach, but you do not know how you are damaging your system. Second, Yoga system, first you must have faith, belief in God. That Sri Ramakrishna in this age, the Supreme God, appeared, established the order, and established this religion of this present age. You must have deep faith in that. Third, নিত্য নিয়মিতভাবে সকাল সন্ধ্যা ভগবত আলোচনা. Every day, regularly, in the morning and evening, you must think about God, japam, meditation, prayer, with great nishtha, with steadfast devotion you must practice. At the same time you must read holy books, have holy company, and service to others. Fourth, have good relationship with people and try to do good to others. Do not do any harm to anybody. and do not harbor ill feeling for anybody. If you have this, it will be hard for you to make progress in spiritual life. Then he says, those who are in the monastery, it is easy for them to make progress in spiritual life because you are in a fort. Monks, you are in a fort. It is extremely difficult to be a monk reading books. The Holy Company has been glorified in all the scriptures. Sadhu Sangha, Holy Company, Sadgrantha Path, studying holy books, Sadalachana, discussion of holy things. These things will increase your power of discrimination. And a good samaskaras will try to uplift your life. Don't think that because you join the Ramakrishna Ashram, you don't need the company of the holy. No. Sometimes living in the ashrama, good food, good clothing, good things, it enhances easygoing life. Easygoing life and vain glory. These are the two great obstacles of monastic life. Actually, sometimes he was telling that, he wanted to go to Himalayas and he saw the wandering monks. But I love to be like the itinerant monk with renunciation. Swami scolded him. Most of my life I lived outside. And I know all those monks. How many monks do you know? The main wealth, the main asset of the Ramakrishna monks is the character, charitra. I remember when we were students, we used to memorize the English proverbs. Money is lost, nothing is lost. Health is lost, something is lost. Character is lost, everything is lost. Charitra. Those who are itinerant outside monks, they have no body to control them. They're free, moving around. They eat money according to their wish and movement. Everything is according to their own wish. Sometimes Swechacharita. Ego comes, I am a Paramatma, I am above everything. That brings downfall of those monks. Mixing with the householders and living with the householders, but that will bring their downfall. All householders' influence go to these monks and his monastic influence goes down. If you practice your daily disciplined life, your routine life, and practice japa and meditation, these three things of Patanjali's yoga will come automatically to you. Yama, Niyama, Asanama. Swami says, Yama, Ahimsa, Satya, Astyo, Brahmacharya, and Aparigraha. Niyama, Shaucha, Santosha, Santosha, Ishvara Pranidhanani, Japa, Ishvara, anyhow, these 5 things and asana. These 3 aspects of Patanjali's yoga will come automatically if you live in the monastery and follow the routine life. But if you live outside, it is very difficult. Swami was very fond of a monk. He wanted to know how can I practice sadhana. And he heard that somebody wanted to go for tapasya. He said, before you go for tapasya and sadhana, read second volume of Ramakrishna Lila Prasanga. Sadhak Bhav. Sri Ramakrishna is a spiritual aspirant. That second volume if you read, then you exactly know what you are supposed to do. Once Maharaj was it was in 1947, India was partitioned, and in Noakhali in Bangladesh, at that time East Pakistan, there was a tremendous riot. The Hindus were murdered thousands and thousands by the Muslims. So Mahatma Gandhi went there. And then Ramakrishna Mission also was doing some relief. Gandhiji came to know about their activities and came to Swami Saradeshanandaji, went to Mahatma Gandhi. So he expressed a desire, I'd like to hear Ramakrishna Kathamrita in Bengali. Please come every day. He gave a time in the afternoon, such and such time. So Swami used to go every day and read Kathamrita to Mahatma Gandhi. And one day he went, but Gandhi's secretary says that Gandhiji is too busy today, no reading. Next day when the Swami went, but you did not come to yesterday. But I came, but your secretary did not allow me to read the Kathamrita to you. My goodness, is reading Kathamrita less important than that discussion, this and that? Swamiji, please come every day. And when Gandhiji would go for meeting and this and that, he used to keep the monks first and he used to walk behind. He was not, well, I shall go first and monks behind. No. Well, I wanted to ask more about these things, but Mahatma Maharaj stopped. Well, it is I am so important that I read Kathamrita to Gandhiji. He was telling. No, he is a great soul. Then one day Maharaj asked me, take a paper and pencil, write down what I say. So he took the paper and pencil. I shall read I am reading yesterday. I shall read the translation. This thing will come in a book form now. One day Swami Saradeshananda called me all of a sudden and said, bring a pen and paper. I did, and then he said, write down. According to the mythology, during the churning of the ocean, when the poison came out that could destroy the world, Shiva drank that poison himself, while he let the gods have the ambrosia so that they could attain eternal life. That poison turned Shiva's throat blue. That is why his other name is Nilakancha, the blue-throated one. In the present age, with the advancement of physical science, as materialism was about to devour the human race, Sri Ramakrishna absorbed the poison of atheism and saved the world by presenting to humankind his gospel of love and devotion for God. That poison manifested in him as throat cancer. After writing it down, I asked Maharaj, what should I do with this? He said, keep it. The thought came to my mind, so I told you. Beautiful, just beautiful. Sometimes Swami Saradeshananda would tell whoever was near him to write down. To write down the thoughts that were lingering in his mind, or sometimes he would just tell us what he was thinking. Thus one day he asked me to write down the birth and development, education and training, peace and happiness of human beings depend primarily on the women in the society. Sri Ramakrishna, through his own life and teachings, has shown the path of righteousness to the restless humanity in the present age. For the development and welfare of women in particular, he brought before humankind the ideal life of his consort, Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi. The women of the present age will attain the highest fulfillment in their lives by following the footsteps of the Mother, who came to demonstrate in her life the loftiest ideal of womanhood as the most affectionate mother, a devoted wife, and a caring daughter. Swami Vivekananda, the Master's foremost disciple, presented this ideal life for the first time in the West in 1893. Since then, the ideal is spreading more and more. Once he wrote to Swami Buddhananda, in the present day, lack of domestic peace and happiness is making people's lives miserable. Peace and happiness at home especially depend on the mother in the family. The advent of Holy Mother was to preach unto womankind the lofty ideal of selfless service. Today the silent influence of our divine life can be clearly felt in this country as well as abroad. Instead of my free translation, I read to you the real translation. As he became old, his voice was very feeble. Sometimes it is very hard to understand. So Swami was shouting to his attendant, "You are hard of hearing, check your ear." Then the brahmachari says, "Maharaj, you check your throat." My ears are all right, your throat has problem. He knew that if he would ask something to write, sometimes he used to think, and then he used to arrange his thoughts one after another. You know, I remember I was interviewed in Santa Barbara. A professor, he's a writer, he wrote a book, Right Brain, Right On. That is the name of the book. So he interviewed me and asked that, "Swami, you wrote some books. How do you write?" Then I said, "Do you know how do I write? When the topic comes, I bring all books connected with that topic. I read all those books. Then I write some notes, that incidents, episodes. Then I meditate. Then I see the whole picture of my article. That is the way I write. And my writing will not be too much cut or back and forth. It is all, it flows. That is the way I write. His thoughts are also like that, you know. But very, very. Some people, you know, big speaker, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But if you see whether it flows or not, it is chronologically it is arranged or not. That is, some people, some speakers I see, their thoughts are not chronologically arranged. I cannot just speak that way. Then he told the monk, I am telling you one thing. Think deeply. Still you are young. Don't be too restless. If you want prosperity, progress in your spiritual life, listen carefully what I said. Sometimes you are staying this center 2 years, another center 2-3 years, another center 4 years, another center 1 year. No. In the Math mission, if you are a good worker, everybody will want you. And if you are a bad worker, nobody will want you. But he says, if a servant stays in a person's house 10 years, 15 years, he has a voice. He tells the master of the house, sir, do this, this, this. You have a voice because you are working for many years. When I was reading these things, two thoughts came to my mind. First thought is, I joined an Advaita Ashram, stayed there 10 years, 60 to 70. In between 2 years in training center in Balloon Mode. Then 71 to 78, I did not want to come. They sent me to Hollywood. So 7 years in Hollywood, almost 7 years. And then I was transferred again to St. Louis. I was happy here, but the authorities sent me. We are transferable. So sent to St. Louis, 44 years. I do not plan that I want to go to that center. Some people say, oh, that center is very good food and very nice. I want to go there and join. Wherever Thakur takes me, I shall go. That was my policy. And another thing, I remember there's one sadhu, he's from Kerala. He came to my room and he was shouting. What is the matter, brother? Well, the manager Swami is telling this, but Maharaj, it is not right. It is Maharaj, this center we shall lose money, this and that. Oh, Advaita, some publication department. Then I said, brother, it is your mission or Ramakrishna's mission? Let us first decide. Well, it is Ramakrishna's mission. So in Ramakrishna mission, people put that man as our boss. Correct? Well, yes. We'll have to obey him. Oh, we shall lose money. This. Let me tell you what to do. You simply go to the Swami with all your humility. Tell you what you just told me. Maharaj, you are asking me to do these things. If you do this, we may lose money, this, whatever the reason, that you tell him. Then if he says, if he thinks that your decision is right, he will change it. And if he thinks your decision is wrong, or his ego is strong, he will order you, you do it. Then you say, Maharaj, whatever you say, I shall do it, but don't blame me later. Say that and do it. Only two places you can deny. If it is a lie or if anything immoral, unethical. Deny. No, I shall not obey you. But otherwise, obey. It is because that is the way you will get mental peace. You will get good japam and meditation. Those who work in the office, not only in the monastery, in the office also, you must have good relationship with your boss. But be careful, do not lie, do not steal, do not do anything immoral, unethical. Then that is your responsibility. If it forces you, please excuse me, it is not right. Then he says, stay in one place and practice your sadhana. This kind of instruction, not only for the monks, for the outsiders, the devotees also. If some people are so restless, change, moving around. You see, in the very beginning of our life, if you do not become steady and stand on your own feet, you will be nowhere. When age will come, what have I achieved? I have nothing. Anyhow, he gives some beautiful lessons to the monks to build their life and character. But don't see these teachings only for the monks, it is all for everybody. These are all universal teachings. If you want to make progress in this world, you will have to work hard. You will have to be very sincere. And right up to this tonight. No, Kali Mandir, take this.